Shooting your way through all the sights and sounds of a Shuswap vacation could make you want to take another vacation just to recover. That's why we shot this movie, to save you the trouble of playing Steven Spielberg. True, we can't include your family and friends in this one, but hey, next time perhaps.
And rolling. Action.
This bird's eye view of Shuswap Lake gives you some idea of what's to come. A fantastic region brimming with unlimited recreational resources in a setting so breathtaking you might need some smelling salts. Where to begin? That's the problem when you visit the Shuswap. Perhaps we should start by telling you exactly where we are. Just west of the Rocky Mountains, to be exact, halfway between Calgary and Vancouver. But to really begin at the beginning, we have to go back a few years and tell you how the Shuswap got its name and the people who first called this beautiful land their home. The First Nations people, as the name implies, were here long before the first white settlers, and it was these hunter-gatherers who first gave this region its collective title, the Shuswap, meaning simply the people. In their Salish language, it must have sounded very different. But through the years and following contact with the first settlers, the name Shuswap became synonymous with a land of spectacular lakes and mountains, roaring rivers, and lush green valleys and forests. One can still imagine the almost deafening silence as one of these first stewards of the earth stood surveying their territory from a mountain lookout such as this. So what induced the first migration of modern-day settlers to this region? Why, business enterprise and man's innate sense of curiosity, adventure, enlightenment, and greed, of course. Right now we're flying over the beachside communities of Anglemont, Solista, Lee Creek, Magna Bay, and Scotch Creek in the North Shuswap. All beautiful places to enjoy yourselves and have fun under the warm Shuswap summer sun. But back in the 1860s and 70s, Seymour Arm, just east of here, wasn't much fun for all those crazy gold diggers heading off to climb over the Monashee Mountains to reach the newly discovered gold fields on the Columbia River. Past the tanning oil, I'm staying right here. Then came the completion in November 1885 of Canada's first transcontinental railroad, an awesome feat of engineering and human ingenuity that reached its zenith with the driving home of the last spike at Craigellachie. Actually, the last spike was driven home by railway workers, but the big honchos and money men behind the building of this railroad wanted that photo opportunity all to themselves, so they did the whole last spike thing all over again. I'm serious. Anyway, this historic Shuswap location is where the Eastern Rail by way of the Rocky Mountains met the new Western Line from Vancouver. Soon, the Canadian Pacific Railway offered easy access to the Shuswap region through the establishment of its various stations along the route. That's not to say the railroad was the only means of transportation to and from Salmon Arm at the time, because we had paddle wheelers plying their trade as well. But with the coming of the railway era, the nascent fruit-growing industry took off and became big business as its markets now reached far and wide. The Farmers' Exchange was a hive of activity, and main streets sprung up in small and emerging communities all over the Shuswap. Today, you can still see the historic sites and artifacts, relive a little of our past, and learn more about the early years of the Shuswap at the Heritage Ghost Town in Three Valley Gap and the Haney Heritage Park in Salmon Arm. More about these later. Being 350 kilometers inland from Canada's west coast means the Shuswap has a climate all its own. Moderate, dry, and toasty in the summer. Moderate, crisp, and toasty during our short winter. The seasons in between are no less spectacular, offering as they do an endless choice of things to do, places to see, a whole new world to discover, all in the middle of one of Canada's most stunningly beautiful natural settings. Okay, let's start with spring. It's the time of year when nature likes to throw a party with her display of apple and cherry blossom. And we're absolutely wild about wildflowers. You know spring has sprung when all our community farmers markets are up and running again. Locally made baked goods, handicrafts, and the new season's first offering of fresh veggies straight from the fields. Yes, everyone's busy this time of year, and spring, as you know, is for the birds and the bees. But who ever heard of bee watching? But for all you birders out there, this is the place, because the Shuswap takes great pride in its bird habitat and protected nesting areas. Salmon Arm Bay is home to the western grebe, a most interesting species. They go courting by taking a run at it. Bet you can't do that. Snowpacks on our ever-present mountains are melting. With the spring runoff, our rivers and streams start to show what they're made of, replenishing Shuswap Lake. Just another part of nature's jigsaw that helps to sustain and keep the ecosystem in balance. As spring turns to early summer, the folks at the Shuswap gear up for another big season in the great outdoors. And why not? If you don't start now, you'll never get around to all the fantastic attractions and events that exist just beyond your doorstep. Phew, I'm exhausted just watching all this stuff, and summer's just begun. Yet from up here, you see a different side of the Shuswap, where the rhythm of the seasons has a beat all its own. It has a lot to do with the fact that around here we have 4 very distinct seasons. Each demands its own attention and seems to say to you, hey, it's time to do this, time to do that. So for many who live here, the time of the year governs when it's time to work and when it's time to play and have fun. As summer heats up, so does the action and the attractions. Ever since I told our cameraman he ought to be in pictures, it's gone to his head. Father's Day brings the Air Affair at Salmon Arms Community Airport, an exciting annual event for the entire family. Don't miss displays of daring do by ace flyers, crack firefighters, and emergency rescue teams. It's a great show. These incredible model airplanes and their owners meet twice a year along the shore of Shuswap Lake at Sandy Point. And have you ever seen such keen and attentive grown-up kids? It's another event you mustn't miss. For a change of pace, take a hike to a mountain lookout. Dust off your riding boots and test your equestrian skills along quiet, groomed trails, or make a dash for it across open country. Looking for a horse of a different color? Think rodeo. There's a big one in Falkland, another in Salmon Arm. I try not to think about how saddle sore these guys are. A great family outing without all those yeehaws and bone-crunching falls is a trip to the petting zoo. It's a touchy-feely experience that has its own special moments for the child in all of us. Over in Sicamous, meanwhile, we have what is justly called the houseboat capital of Canada. Want to enjoy the luxuries of home while cruising on beautiful Shuswap Lake? Promote yourself to captain and climb aboard a floating funhouse equipped with everything from a fireplace to a hot tub and everything in between. Ah, hazy, lazy days of summer. Memories are made of moments like this. Down the highway at Three Valley Gap, we have another big surprise for you. Here, the industrious and visionary Bell family has created a unique enterprise comprising the 200-room Three Valley Lake Chateau and the Three Valley Gap Heritage Ghost Town. The Chateau's 3 dining rooms overlook expansive gardens. The 300-seat live stage theater always puts on a great show. An indoor heated swimming pool with whirlpool features a large mural of the Titanic. This place is absolutely wild. As for the ghost town, well, you dare not pass this one up. Here you can experience a real feel for the rugged pioneer days of the early 1900s. There's the Golden Wheel Saloon, an early watchmaker's shop, schoolhouse, a covered bridge, a railway museum, early automobiles, including the first mass-produced car in North America. No, it's not the Model T, but the 1902 Curved Dash Olds. Sounds more like an internet address to me. But seriously, this is one heck of a place to stay and explore, and very much a part of this region's dynamic history. Yet none more so than when our First Nations put on their own historical display of time-honored customs. The annual powwow at Squilax in the North Shuswap is a spectacle of special reverence for all to see. A thrilling and emotional gathering of song and dance. A colorful meeting and greeting place the original peoples of the Shuswap invite you to share. Summer in the Shuswap has something special to offer everyone who lives here or pays us a visit. For the artist in you, we have galleries and art workshops, art festivals and musical concerts. If you paint, draw, tread the boards, play the bagpipes, or potter around with clay, you'll find kindred spirits wherever you turn. Some of the big events that return year after year and get bigger and bigger include the internationally acclaimed Salmon Arm Roots and Blues Festival, an awesome weekend gathering of some of today's top musical talents. The Shuswap Lake Festival of the Arts in Sorrento. The foot-stompin' Sorrento Bluegrass Festival. And every week during the summer months, Salmon Arms Arts Council hosts free entertainment by the city's leading music makers at the ever-popular Wednesday on the Wharf evening concerts. Such a romantic location, beside the lake with the mountains all around you. So what's this? A paddle wheeler that's lost its way? Nope, it's Salmon Arms' way of promoting and celebrating its centennial year. 100 years ago, paddle wheelers were a common sight, delivering and picking up passengers and freight throughout the Shuswap. Every age is drawn to the many attractions of our lakes and rivers, be it fly fishing in still waters, paddling your own canoe, swimming in a warm bay, water skiing for miles on end, kayaking through ripping currents, or showing what you're made of at the annual Dragon Boat Festival. First started by a group of breast cancer survivors, the Shuswap now supports over 6 Dragon Boat teams and counting. All of which goes to show that there's no real generation gap when it comes to having a good time. On dry land again, visit Mighty Margaret Falls in Harold Provincial Park. It's a great way to cool off on a hot summer's day. This park has extensive beaches, picnic facilities, and overnight camping right on Shuswap Lake. A short walk off the Trans-Canada Highway between Sicamous and Three Valley Gap, a mad offshoot of the Eagle River becomes the Crazy Creek Waterfall. It's wet and wild, and best viewed from the specially built suspension bridge. Another Shuswap exclusive, and well worth your attention. For an old-time experience, The R.J. Haney Heritage Park and Museum in Salmon Arm lets you rediscover more of our past. Many old buildings and commercial structures are lovingly restored and open for you to explore and enjoy. The museum contains well-preserved and restored artifacts, early photographs, and memorabilia. The dinner theater is a special treat you won't want to miss.
Russia's supply lines are completely cut off, and our manufacturing plants...
Oh, there's our faithful cameraman again, taking off and taking his life into his hands, just for you. And then there's golf. If we're not careful, this could take up the rest of the video. Let's just say you've come to the right place. Tee off from a par 72 championship course, a 9-hole par 30 executive course, both designed by Les Ferber, to a par 71 championship course landscaped with lakes and generous fairways. In all, there are 6 courses, including one ranked among Canada's top 50. The Shuswap takes outdoor recreation and indoor sports action very seriously. Here's the new Sunwave Center with its new 2-sheet arena, home to the champion Salmon Arm Silverbacks Hockey Club. Adjacent is the Community Center, and down the road, the new Little Mountain Sports Complex. All this in a rural setting. Amazing! For all you shopaholics out there, the Shuswap is far from being a sleepy rural backwater. Mall rats have plenty to nibble on, with Salmon Arm being the hub of the region's shop-till-you-drop attractions. For higher learning, the region boasts its own university campus, Okanagan University College, a leafy oasis of academic calm in Salmon Arm. This city's other educational establishments include one of BC's most sophisticated and advanced senior secondary schools. This community also offers residents and visitors the perks of its fabulous and well-attended community center, complete with swimming pool, jacuzzi, workout rooms, and auditorium. There's one other thing for which the Shuswap can't be beat, and that's our hospitality. Visitors say we have a very big welcome mat. That's nice to know, but not surprising, as we all work hard to make you feel at home. Choosing a place to stay or making a dining decision is a tough call with so many first-rate establishments on offer. The Quayout Resort and Conference Center on the shores of Little Shuswap Lake exemplifies First Nations hospitality with its impressive architectural features embracing native petroglyphs and world-class dining. The politicians call it agritourism. Whatever. It's all about showing you what it's like to live and work in a country setting. The Shuswap has a directory of family farms, wineries, orchards, cheesemakers, dairies, and other interesting places you can visit. For wine connoisseurs, the Shuswap is becoming famous for its cool climate varietals. Visit the convivial owners of the Larch Hills Winery for a tasting of their many award-winning offerings, which include the ever-popular Ortega. Don't mind if I do. Then there's Recline Ridge Winery, another notable establishment with many awards to its credit. There are others in the area for you to visit, but I've got to move on to quaff one of my favorite brews. In Sorrento, you'll find Cranog Ales, and the dedicated couple who stand behind one of the best little breweries in the West. Cheers! Prosit! Skål! Here's mud in your eye. Sorrento may sound Italian to you, but don't be fooled by my accent. We're still in Canada. Sorrento is a summer paradise for sun lovers who also enjoy water sports. Good sports also head over to Blind Bay, just along the shore a ways. Another great waterfront community popular with summer visitors. Just because the Shuswap prides itself on pollution-free enterprises doesn't mean we lack heavy hitters in our manufacturing sector. Far from it. One of Salmon Arm's major employers is a pioneer and global leader in automated sawmill technology and related materials handling equipment. Canada's largest builder of houseboats is located in Sicamous. Another watercraft manufacturer produces boats to die for. Look at that baby go! As late summer turns to fall, it's time to gather in the bounty from the fields. Fall is also the time to experience the awesome spectacle of the sockeye salmon run along the Adams River as millions complete the return journey from the Pacific to spawn another generation. Another must-see moment for the entire family. You can't beat a good parade, and one of the highlights of the season is the Salmon Arm Fall Fair Parade. By any standard, it's a whopper. Then it's on to the fair itself. Somehow, it's hard to explain, a fall fair captures the very heart and soul of a rural community, and Salmon Arm's no exception. A boisterous and spirited display of a region's love and caring for all that nurtures and supports it. You know winter has really arrived when skaters take to McGuire Lake. I'm not saying it happens every year. Take this year, for instance. Nice weather for ducks, though.
Skiers ready? There we go. The 20th version of the Reno-Keski Sami Loppet is now underway.
By mid-January, the starting gun fires up the excitement of the Reno-Keski Salmi Loppet, the cross-country skiing marathon in the Larch Hills. Participants from 2 to 82 come from far and wide to compete in this thrilling annual event running through picture book scenery. Hot on the heels of all this comes the international dog sled races in Falkland. Mush mush, hot toddies, and all that stuff. Our mild and short winters offer outdoor recreational opportunities for all ages, from cross-country sleigh rides to some of the best Nordic skiing in British Columbia.
We are so lucky to have this hill so close to town. Just about live up here when the weather is good.
That's right, that's what I can say. It's actually been good since November 19th, so.
For many, a winter spent in the Shuswap wouldn't be complete without indulging in the joys of backwoods and alpine snowmobiling. Up here, you can expect many a snowflake to fall, guaranteeing all the thrills you can handle. All this amid spectacular scenery in a wide choice of terrain that includes rolling forest and meadows, alpine ridges and bowls, and well-developed and maintained trails. So there you have it, the Shuswap. Now you know as much about this wonderful region of British Columbia as I do. We hope you enjoyed the journey and liked what you saw. Uh-oh, cameraman's giving me the cut sign, you know, running his hand across his throat. I guess it's a wrap. That means the end, but for you, it might be the beginning of a whole new life. Think about it. A nicely balanced climate, clean country air, no industrial pollution, beautiful environment, friendly people. Think Shuswap. See you soon.